Hello everyone, this is Thor Young with Bear Bull Traders, and I'd like to do a recap on my AMD trade for you today. During this recap, I want to talk a little bit about a trend method that I've been using to identify good setups and to see if maybe if anyone else is thinking, if they're seeing these. I've ran these through some of my buddies in chat and everything, and we're kind of seeing some consistency between these. So I'm trying to kind of put together a method here to kind of identify some good trend moves, or at least really to identify good continuation plays is really what I'm after here. So let's look at my AMD trade. So you'll notice here on my AMD trade here that AMD was having a pretty decent morning. It had been, if you look here at the 1 minute, it had been kind of inching up VWAP through most of the morning. So I really saw this nice upward trend on it. The 5 minute, not quite as pretty on the upward trend, but it was respecting the 9 moving average quite nicely. And on the dailies, we'd kind of had some bottoming on the daily happen here, and it had a really strong day. And then, so we had some daily momentum moving back up potentially. So there was a lot of things, that was giving me a longer bias in this stock. So now in the method that I want to talk about, the consolidation period that happens after a big move. So what I'm looking for is a solid move up. I'm actually looking for some distance on the stock, and then I want it to go into a consolidation area here. Most important thing is actually low volume. So on all of these moves up, you see these got these nice big volume candles, and then you see the volume just slowly and steadily decline. This is why I call this a resting period. It's like the stock is just exhausted right now. It had a move up. Everyone's just tired of doing what they were doing, need to catch their breath. So as this volume starts to decline, you'll notice we started to actually create kind of a spot here around 27.29 to 27.24. It started just kind of wedging in this low volume here, sitting right on top of the 9 average. So I went ahead and took an entry actually at 27.28. And then I was going to wait for it to break through. And I had an actual key error when I took my entry, so I immediately sold it for a very insanely small loss of like $2.50. It was kind of a silly noob error, but whatever. So I instantly re-entered my position. Actually got a little bit better of an entry, thankfully. And then my stop was the break of the 9 moving average here. Gave it basically 5 cents. So if it breaks through that 5 cents and it does it with volume, you're not going to want to be in there. It could easily go the other direction. But this is the consolidation that I'm looking for. So sit here, we got the low volume. I'm in here. You see it's holding my 27.25. And then it happens. The volume comes in and we get a nice move up. I went ahead and since I was in at 27.27 with a 5 cent risk, I went ahead and got my first partial at 27.37. That's my 2-to-1. And then I grabbed another partial here at 40. I actually grabbed another partial here at 27.48, and then it pulled back really hard against me. And it went a little bit lower than I thought it was going to go. So I took a little bit more off there, just so I'd have a little bit less in if it decided to retrace and come all the way back down. I did take a very for me, monster size position here. So I was feeling really good about it, and I had such a tight stop. I loaded up completely here. So even with these 3 dumps, I still had about 40% of my position left in. And then as we started to make new highs, and you'll mostly see this going on my 5 minute chart here, as you start to see these new highs get made and closes, this is where I kind of take my profit levels. They also happen to be around 10 cent intervals. Since I have a 5 cent risk, I tend to just tier out every 10 cents until I'm basically out. I was done here at 27.70. I was hoping to kind of break out of this range and get a little bit more out of it, maybe get a run all the way back up to $28, maybe get another, even $1. But it came against me, reversed a little bit more than I wanted to, and I went ahead and stopped out here. I no longer, especially on the 5 minute, we had a little spinning top here as it pushed down, came back up. Now this is Another spinner, this one could almost be a shooting, looked as a shooting star, depending on how picky you are about using that term. It is on the top of an uptrend, if you will. And then we had this big sell off here. It kind of moved back up and sell off. So once it really made this move here, and really did a shakeout down to the bottom side here, I was like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and get out, and I did. And as you can see, although it's been kind of trending in this area, it really hasn't really done anything else for the rest of the day. So once your trend's over, it's nice just to go ahead and get out. That's normally not a lot of shares left by the time you're there anyway. So why occupy your attention for these few shares just to see if they're going to do something? So anyway, that's my recap for you today. I hope you enjoy it. Basically, just trying to show kind of how this, consolidation period can be used as a real clean entry here. You wait for the volume to get, you want the volume to be low. If there's high volume here, you don't want to do it. High volume isn't a consolidation. High volume just means everybody's in complete agreement on the price. So at some point, they're not going to be in agreement, and it's going to rip one way or the other. And you don't know what that is if we're on high volume. If the volume's dropping significantly, that means it's a resting period. All right, and that's what you want to be looking for, is the resting period. And then again, you wait for it to wedge up nicely so your risk reward is manageable, so you get a clear signal one way or the other if you've either made the right call or the wrong call. But either way, you're in a really nice spot to take a nice bet on this. And if it's a loser, it's not going to hurt your bank. You're going to only be down, even if you took 1,000 shares, a loser on this would have been $50. But if you took 1,000 shares, look, you're already up 100. You're already up. By the time you're up here, you're up $300, $400 on the day. So anyway, I hope you guys had a great day. I hope everybody's green, and have a great day.